Ravens take on the Bears Sunday at the bank. Can the Ravens start turning this season around now that they're fully healthy? The Bears are kind of banged up coming into this game. We'll look at both sides of the ball for both teams, go over key matchups and predictions in this game preview episode of the Flock Rundown.
Ravens Flock. The Flock Rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
What's up, Ravens fans, Bears fans? If you're watching, my name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. So the Ravens are looking pretty good heading into this game, which feels weird. The Bears are actually way more banged up than the Ravens are, and I know the Bears probably haven't been super tuned in with what's going on with the Ravens, but we've been beat up, man. We haven't had an injury report look like this in about a month, a little over a month. So the fact, not only are we getting Lamar Jackson back most likely, but no one else for the Ravens has an injury designation. Everybody practiced in full. Ronnie Stanley got a rest day today, but nobody has an injury designation except Lamar Jackson, who's questionable, but I'm very optimistic, as most people are, because he had 2 limited practices and then a full practice. I just don't really see a reason that Lamar wouldn't play in this game, but I guess you never know. That would change everything. Pretty much everything I'm about to talk about will go out the window if Lamar's not playing, but I think he's playing. And Harbaugh confirmed today that Tyler Huntley would be the direct backup to Lamar Jackson, not Cooper Rush. So Ravens are pretty much done with Cooper Rush. That was a failed experiment, a failed offseason signing, and is what it is. Moving on to the Bears, they have already ruled out 5 players and some important defensive backs. Kyler Gordon, their slot corner, is already ruled out. Roschon Johnson, the running backs, ruled out. Braxton Jones, offensive lineman, ruled out. Cole Kmet, the starting tight end, is ruled out. And then corner Tyreek Stevenson is also ruled out. The Ravens are favored in this game by 7.5. It was 6.5 to start the week. Some other sports books have some other odds that are close, but around 7.5. It did go up a little bit after the Bears injury report came out. So with them being down so many defensive backs, I think that the Ravens are a little bit more favored in this game. Weather on Sunday should have no impact. It's going to be around 60 degrees, no rain, and very low wind. Week 8 of the season is here. There's some exciting matchups this week, and this year I've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to bring you guys an incredible offer. New customers bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins, plus 3 months of NBA League Pass. You heard that right. New customers turn $5 into $300 if your bet wins, paid instantly in bonus bets. The crown is yours. Stay in on the action and use your bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. And make sure when you're signing up to use my promo code TFR. Let's dive into this game. We'll start with the Ravens offense going against the Bears defense, and the Ravens offense is going to look a lot different. Ronnie Stanley should be a full go. He hasn't been able to finish a game in the last 2-3 games. Pat Ricard is making his season debut. That is a huge addition to this run blocking game and just overall blocking game in general, man. Pat Ricard is a beast. And then Lamar Jackson's back. So the Ravens are getting a huge boost on offense, an offense that has not performed well in these last few games without Lamar at all. The first 3 games of the season with Lamar, offense was dominant, averaging 35 plus points a game, but as soon as Lamar went out, it fell off a cliff. So I'm expecting a little bit more of what we saw earlier in the season. And this Bears defense is letting up 25.8 points a game, which ranks 25th in the league. They're letting up 350 yards per game, which ranks 25th in the league. They're letting up 6.2 yards per play, which is dead last in the league. Their opponent red zone scoring percentage is 68.42%, which ranks 27th in the league. And their run defense has also struggled. They're allowing 5.3 yards per carry, which is 31st in the league. And they're allowing 137.7 yards per game, which ranks 28th in the league. Bright spot for the Bears defense has been on 3rd and 4th down conversions. They're ranked 2nd and 7th in the league at that. And the Bears are down some key corners in this game. I was scrolling through X to see a little bit of a reaction from the Bears fans, just because obviously as a Ravens fan, I'm not watching the Bears super closely, but try to prepare as much as I can when I go talk about a game preview like this. And the Bears fans seem concerned that their corners are out, especially Kyler Gordon, who was kind of a surprise guys out this week. I think he got hurt at practice. It looks like it might be Nashawn Wright and Nick McLeod at outside corner and Josh Blackwell at nickel. The Ravens have a ton of opportunity in this game to get this offense back on track, and mainly because Lamar Jackson's back. I think we're going to get a big boost in the blocking game with Ronnie Stanley being out there and Pat Ricard, but Lamar being back changes everything. I mean, this offense could barely score 10 points without Lamar. Lamar's back going against a Chicago defense that is ranked in a lot of categories, a lot of important categories at the bottom of the NFL. And I really don't think Lamar is going to run a ton in this game. That hamstring injury is still touchy. You never know with hamstrings. You could re-aggravate it. So like to keep him in the pocket as much as possible, but just him being out on the field creates problems for the defense. It makes them think about a lot more. Lamar can hand it off to Henry. Lamar could keep it if he does want to run, or Lamar could throw it. And that freezes the defense, even if it's just for a moment, because they're so worried about what Lamar Jackson can do. And that hasn't been a worry for opposing teams these last few weeks. We've had Cooper Rush there, and it's been awful. So I'm excited, man. It's a breath of fresh air that Lamar's back, and I feel like this offense can really start rolling, and they have a big opportunity here. The Bears are shorthanded. This is not the full strength Bears defense, and this defense hasn't been playing great anyway. I think the Ravens should still lean with the run, though. I know the Bears are banged up in their secondary. I do think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for mismatches with Zay Flowers and Bateman, and I think Isaiah likely could be a wild card in this game. But regardless, run the ball. Establish the run with Derrick Henry and take a little pressure off Lamar. It's his first game back. You don't want him out there having to run a ton. It is a must-win game for Baltimore. I don't think we could afford to lose this game at all. We're 1-5. Got to get the season back on track. Finally, fully healthy. This is the opportunity to turn this around and get this snowball of momentum going. But I really think we should rely on Derrick Henry and this run game. Last week, we got the run game going and Lamar Jackson wasn't there. We had a good game running the ball. We ran a lot more outside zone. Voorhees had a lot better of a game running outside zone. But I think we'll have more options in the run game now with Pat Ricard back, with Ronnie Stanley out there. And like I said, Lamar Jackson. We need to run the ball. We need to establish the run in this game because that controls everything, and it takes pressure off Lamar right now. We don't want Lamar to have to be superhuman Lamar in this game. I know we asked that of him a lot, but it's his first game back. We don't know what that hamstring even looks like. We don't want Lamar having to be out there running for his life, scrambling, trying to make crazy things happen. Let's establish the ground game. You'll eat up time of possession, give the defense a rest, and take some pressure off Lamar. I know Lamar can do it all, but I'd love for this to be a big Henry game. And then flipping to the other side of the ball, Bears offense going against Ravens defense. Ravens defense has been struggling this year, no doubt about it. Some bright games against Cleveland, and then last week holding the Rams to 17 I thought was an accomplishment, but the Ravens defense has to be better. I think they have to go out there and play their best game and find a way to generate some pressure. The Ravens are super thin at outside linebacker right now. We traded away Adafe Owe. We lost Tavius Robinson. We did just sign Carl Lawson, but he is not going to be playing in this game. So the Ravens are going to have to find a way to generate pressure, and I really don't think that's coming from winning their one-on-one battles. I'd love for this to be a Mike Green breakout game and have some guys win their one-on-one matchups, but I definitely think that we're going to have to generate some pressure strategically. Whether that's just bringing some extra guys, blitzing a corner every now and then, keeping Kyle Hamilton consistently close to the line of scrimmage so that he can blitz, he can disrupt plays, not only rushing the passer, but also blowing up screens, helping with the run game. That is the strategy. That's the move. The Ravens need to find a way to get to Caleb Williams quick. And that's not easy. He does a great job at extending plays, and they have a ton of weapons too, man. So not only do we have to generate some pressure somehow, we're going to have to defend downfield. Our secondary, I think, is deep enough and talented enough to match up well with these receivers, but it doesn't mean we're going to shut them down. They got talented receivers, man. Adunze's a beast. He's a number one. DJ Moore's also a number one wide receiver. I know he's not having the craziest year this year, but they're going to keep trying to get him involved. Luther Burden, the rookie, is a weapon. Cole Kmet, their starting tight ends, out, but they drafted Loveland for a reason. I think Loveland is going to get a lot of opportunity in this game, and he's not a slouch, man. That's an early first-round pick. So they got a ton of weapons on offense, and that's not even talking about their run game. DeAndre Swift's a beast. He is questionable for this game with a groin injury, so we'll see how that plays out. That would be a big loss if he's not able to go. But the Bears' offense is solid. They're scoring 25 points a game. That ranks 10th in the league. They're averaging 346 yards a game, which is 12th in the league. They're running the ball a lot, averaging 29 carries a game, which ranks 7th in the league, 129 yards a game, which ranks 8th in the league. Ravens do have Roquan Smith coming back for this game. Bears fans know Roquan very well, and that's a huge addition. I know some Ravens fans are hard on Roquan, and I get it in certain reasons, but he's an upgrade over anybody else that we've had out there. And not only just from a skill and talent and experience upgrade, but also communication. Roquan Smith and Kyle Hamilton being out there on the field will help communicate even better. We've had Teddy Buchanan and some rookies communicating to a lot of the defense. Malachi Starks on the back end when Kyle Hamilton wasn't there too. A lot of rookie responsibility, and now it's getting placed back to the veterans. So that helps out the entire defense. Roquan being back really helps out the run defense as well. We have to stop the run in this game. The Bears like to run. You can't have them controlling the game. Like I said, the Ravens need to do with Derrick Henry. You don't want that on the opposite side because then Lamar Jackson's off the field. And we've seen all year long this Ravens defense not really be able to get off the field. A lot of 3rd and shorts and the other team's just converting. 3rd or 4th and short, the other team's converting, marching down the field slowly. Offense is sitting on the sideline. We don't want that. We got to shut down the run. We got to force the Bears into some 3rd and longs. But I don't know what to expect from this Ravens defense. They've been shockingly bad for the majority of the season, even though they've been talented, And are we going to see Jair Alexander at all? He hasn't been involved at all. He's another asset that the Ravens can put out there if he's ready. The Ravens are coming off one of their better defensive performances against the Rams. We made that trade for Alohi Gilman from the Chargers. That helps solidify things. He's also helping fit the run as well, help with the run defense, but also just stabilizing coverage as well. And it really frees Kyle Hamilton up to just be a menace and be all over the field and impact the game in a variety of ways, which we always love. So I think the Ravens defense should have a good day, but it is an unknown, man. I have a lot more faith in the Ravens offense right now scoring some points with Lamar back than I do this Ravens defense having a dominant day. So I still think the Bears are going to have some success, man. They have a lot of weapons. I don't think this Ravens defense is just going to go out there and dominate, but I am expecting a solid performance. There's no reason that the Ravens defense should be worse than the other games that they have played. They're healthy now, and the biggest question mark by far is how are they going to get to the quarterback fast? That's an unanswered thing. I don't know. We don't have guys that are just dominating their one-on-ones, so we're going to have to generate pressure. And however that looks, Zach Orr said he's been working on that throughout the entire bye. We obviously added Carl Lawson, but he's not going to be out there Sunday, so I'm interested to see if we can get home and get some pressure on the Bears, because if we can shut down the run game and get pressure on Caleb Williams, the Ravens defense is going to have a lot of success in this game. But I do see the Bears being able to score some points in this game. They just have too many weapons. But let's jump into some score predictions and just overall predictions for this game. I got the Ravens winning this one 34-20. I think they bounce back big at home. It's not even any disrespect to the Bears. The Bears are having a great season. I just think they're catching the Ravens at the wrong time. Fresh off the bye week, fully healthy. Lamar's back. A lot of people look at the 1-5 record or the stats and just think the Ravens suck, but those stats are very skewed, man. We haven't had a healthy team in a month. So the fact that everyone's back, I'm expecting the turnaround. The back's against the wall. Every week's a playoff game. You can't afford another loss. You can't go to 1-6. They go to 1-6, man. It's over. So I definitely think the Ravens are going to be playing for everything in this game, and they're at home. Black jerseys. I got them coming out swinging in this game, but I think the Bears score some points. I got them scoring 20. I don't think it's like a shutout or any dominant performance like that. The Bears have too many weapons with Adunze, Moore. I think Loveland's also an underrated weapon that they just haven't used a ton yet. They have a strong run game. If Swift plays, I think he's definitely a threat too. So I think the Bears score some points in this game, but the Ravens are going to establish the run game. And then also with how banged up this Bears secondary is, I just think there's going to be too many mismatches out there. The Ravens have a lot of weapons as well. Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and then Derrick Henry in the backfield. I think the Ravens have more than enough to put up 34 points in this game. And a lot of that is going to be through a dominant run game. I think the Ravens wear this Bears defense out, and Henry really gets going, takes a little bit off Lamar, but I got Lamar throwing at least 2 touchdown passes in this game as well. I don't think Lamar's not going to have an impact. I think his presence is a bigger impact to the run game. So I just think the Ravens offense gets back on track, man. I'm excited for this one. I can't wait. But I was super hopeful earlier in this season, and the Ravens were kind of letting us down. So I don't know. This is the toughest game preview to do because there's so many unknowns for the Ravens, but them being fully healthy is a massive positive. So I got them winning this one pretty handedly, and I'm excited, man. I can't wait. But let me know what you guys are thinking about this game. What's your score predictions? What's your bold predictions for this game? Let me know. Appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and let the greatest linebacker in the history of the game take us out.
Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the Flock Rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.